Good morning and welcome to a wonderful day here in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. Oh yes, Wyoming. I'm on my way back from Omaha. You saw my blog about South Dakota. It was a wonderful day, and now I'm in Wyoming. Second day of my epic road trip. There's nothing I'm really looking at in Wyoming. I'm just driving to Salt Lake City, so it's a little underwhelming, of course. There's nothing I'm particularly looking for in Wyoming, but 5th grade Luke. See, we returned to 5th grade Luke. 5th grade Luke did his state report on Wyoming. And I think the reason that I chose it was just because it was like a rectangle state. I wanted to do like one of the boring rectangle states, because I knew they weren't boring. Everyone else said they were boring. I learned it was the least populous state, even less populous than Alaska. That was something surprising to me. Cheyenne at that time in 1995 had about 50,000 people. I remember the state flag had a buffalo with the seal of Wyoming in the middle of it. And of course I learned about Yellowstone. And in fact, this is also on my bucket list, to go to Yellowstone in general. But I remember in doing the research for the report, there was this picture out of a magazine that had like this lake that was like Technicolor. It was like blue and green and yellow and orange. I don't know what it was. I remember writing in the report what it was, but I can't think of off the top of my head what it was. But I always wanted to go there. And of course, Old Faithful. So I can't go this trip, but someday, just like I wanted to go to Mount Rushmore, someday I'm going to go to Yellowstone, and it's going to be epic. One thing that's really been cool on this trip is to see the things that I've learned about before. I mean, in Omaha, I saw the Missouri River. I went over to Iowa, saw the Mississippi. You know, these rivers that you learn about in school, and you know how powerful they are and how awesome they are. So doing this state report on Wyoming in 5th grade, coming here and actually seeing Wyoming and getting to know it, you know, there's just something that you can read all the books, you can watch all the videos you want, but you can't really know it until you experience it. But the experience you have of the place can be enhanced by the head knowledge you gain from reading books and watching videos and things like that. So the fact that I did a report on Wyoming in school has made my experience of Wyoming that much more meaningful. And visiting Wyoming and experiencing it makes the knowledge that I had that much more enriched. So the experience enhances the knowledge and vice versa. I just think that's so cool. I also appreciate how my experience is enhanced by others' experiences. I hope that my experience of Wyoming and South Dakota especially have maybe enhanced your prior experience, or maybe will enhance your future experience of those places if you plan on going there. I hope you do. They're great places. Oh, and the other great thing about Wyoming is that back in the day, Jerry Seinfeld did these American Express commercials. They were like 3 or 4 minutes long, and they featured like a cartoon version of Superman. And basically in the cartoons, Jerry and Superman are just kind of hanging out like old friends. And in the first episode, Superman really wants to go see this musical called Oh Yes, Wyoming. It's one song after another. And they go and see the show, and Jerry is horrified. He thinks it's just totally ridiculous. But Superman is like really into it.
Oh yes, Wyoming. One song after another.
Oh yes, Wyoming.
Oh yes, Wyoming. With the trees and the horses and the rocks and the sheep. Oh yes, I'm going through the plains and the trails and the
I'm gonna go to the lobby right now, and I'm gonna get the CD before they're all gone.
Yes, Wyoming.
Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me.
I'd rather be roaming.
And anyway, in another one of these commercials, Jerry and Superman are doing a road trip across the country. But at the end of that commercial, at the end of that second one, they cross the border into Wyoming.
Where are we anyway? Oh no.
Oh yes, Wyoming.
There's no place I'd rather be roaming.
And then Superman is like, oh yes, Wyoming. There's no place I'd rather be roaming. And it's hilarious. So whenever I drive through Wyoming, I sing oh yes, Wyoming. And it's awesome. So thank you, Jerry Seinfeld and Superman, for making my trip through Wyoming that much more enjoyable. Now we are on to Salt Lake City. And sadly, it's not 80 degrees, but we're doing 80 on I-80, listening to 80s music. Oh yeah.
She seems to have an invisible touch, yeah.
the walk of life. 88 miles per hour! We're in Utah, baby! Baby.
Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I shake it out, I shake it out.
What do you mean that's not 80s? I heard it was from 1989!
Oh, yes, Wyoming, with the trees and the horses and the rocks and the sheep. Oh, yes, I'm going to the plains and the trails and the streams and the hills. Oh, no, Nebraska, is there a plainer state, I ask ya? Oh, yes, Wyoming, there's no place I'd rather be roaming. You guys are singing candy to the watering holes. You guys are singing candy to the watering holes.
Yeah, so I was going to have this cool time lapse of me coming through the canyon and into the Wasatch Valley to see Salt Lake City in the distance. And then the phone ran out of space, literally, right as I pulled out of the canyon. And I obviously couldn't deal with making space on my phone in the car, so there went that. Anyway, right now I just got off I-15 and I'm heading into Ogden, which is a bit sad because it means I didn't actually take any footage of my time in Salt Lake, which was for only like a day. But I guess a sign of a good trip is to have taken lots of pictures and video, but an even better sign is that you were having such a good time and so involved in the moment that you didn't even think to take any pictures or video. And that's what happened. I did make it to Mass at the cathedral on time, by the way, as I had wondered in my previous video. And I also got a haircut and visited some people. Pretty exciting. And now I'm heading into the fabled town of Ogden as we drive toward the epic Wasatch Mountains with Mount Ogden up there in the background and my old favorite, Malin's Peak. So I'm going to visit some people up here and then leave tonight and drive to Montana tomorrow. I don't know what it is, there's just something magical about Ogden. It just captures my imagination. I mean, I don't know what it is. It just got this special vibe that I love. That, my friends, is it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Day 2.